With the increase in cell phone usage, accessibility of data packages, and the proliferation of social media usage, the impact of the fourth industrial revolution on traditional media has taken a huge toll. The latest casualty, Associated Media Publishing, which closed on the 30th of April.
Traditional media as we've known it is dying a fast death. People no longer wait for newspapers to access information. I can just go to any online platform of a newspaper or a TV station and get the same content, and it is moving at a rapid rate. That's another thing that we see, that the development in the digital space is very quick, and it's not always easy to keep up.
The future of print media hangs in the balance, with sales figures for both magazine and newspaper circulation in freefall. Print has been the hardest hit. Broadcasters have also been affected.
The problem of news media overall, whether it's print, whether it's broadcast, is a problem of the model, the financial model. In the old model, the funding for news media was largely via advertising. But once you have got a migration or a dilution of those revenue streams from advertising, then it becomes more and more difficult for old media, if you like, i.e. in radio, in print and in TV, to stay viable as such. So it's very important I think we're at a stage where news media companies have to review the funding model for news.
Decreasing circulation numbers, lack of advertising revenue streams, low readership figures are just some of the causes that have led to the shrinking industry.
I believe that it is an absolute catastrophe, as it represents the reality of small and medium-sized media houses as they exist within an ecosystem that is the larger media industry that is quite hostile. So really, such publishing houses, small and medium-sized, are really in a very unfortunate situation, because generally print media has multiple revenue streams. Although advertising is the anchor, over and above advertising, they actually draw some revenue out of events. And we know now that the kind of economic environment we find ourselves in globally as a result of COVID-19 doesn't really deal the small publisher or medium-sized publisher any favors.
Subscriptions could also be another way. Online subscriptions, printing costs have been one of the biggest expenses for most traditional media houses, because you are almost printing on a daily basis. If you're a daily or a weekly or even monthly magazines, those printing costs are very, very high. And now we need to look at other ways to minimize your cost.
But for some media houses, reinventing themselves is simply not possible.
It raises the question of the role of government and society to say, if we're saying that news is important in a democracy to enable citizens to make informed choices about the democracy, how do you fund it? And then, in other words, is news a public good that needs to be funded by the fiscus even, or by taxpayers' money, for the benefit of citizens?
Private public partnerships are needed to keep the industry afloat. And if no such interventions are put in place, the future of print will fade like ink. Nozintombi Miya, SABC News, Johannesburg.